Rapido.
Billy McDuffy.
I went from the Cult, and use the Rapidos. Don't forget to use your Rapido suppository
At all times.
At all times.
The old goths among you may remember a band called Southern Death Cult, an odd name for a band from the north, which evolved into Death Cult. When the goth scene died, Death Cult didn't, and so became The Cult. The name got shorter, the hair got longer, and the music got heavier.
I think one of the most difficult things was after punk rock, there was nothing around that inspired us, you know. And so we went back to the past and started listening to the music again. It was more inspiring than what was going on. I wasn't inspired by Bauhaus or Killing Joke or anything like that, you know. It was more like listening to things like Free and Janis Joplin and the Stones, and the Stooges. You know, that's what really turned me on, because punk rock was rock and roll. The Pistols and the Clash, they were rock and roll bands. You know, Generation X was lead guitar. I mean, even like the Clash had long hair when we first started. So. That's what we would always aspire to be. I mean, like in terms of Gothic was a tag put on us by the British press. Basically, all the young groups at that time, most of them were sort of like fans of punk rock. So it's like punks that learned to play, you know, picked up the instruments sort of during punk rock. And really didn't feel, I mean, the Gothic scene, again, we left. 1984 we left, we went to the States. You know, so it's what we've always aspired to become. It's been a rock band, and I think we're just getting heavier. I think, you know, heavy metal is dying a death, really, in terms of, you know, bouffant hair and lipstick and spandex trousers. That's kind of going out. It's kind of gone back to the street again. It's more sort of like essential rock and roll, you know. Most of our friends live in Los Angeles. Most of our friends are either involved in music or around music.
Oh, sweet little sugar talker, paradise dream stealer. Oh, little Queen Edie.
If their abrupt move from goth to heavy metal hasn't convinced you that the Cult know what they're doing, then the single Edie, Chow Baby, should have, if only because it was dedicated to 60s youth Quaker and Crown Princess Warholite Edie Sedgwick.
It's just kind of being interested in the Warhol scene, the Factory, the Velvet Underground, Edie Sedgwick. I just felt compelled to write something about it. You know, I mean, basically spending time in New York City and being interested in that scene. I just sat down one night and wrote the song, wrote the words to it, you know, myself and Billy put the thing together.
With last year's Sonic Temple album, the Cult were more convincing metal merchants than ever before. But have they taken this return to rock's roots a little too literally? After all, the last thing anyone needs is another bunch of Zeppelin clones.
I mean, in terms of influence, sure. I mean, Led Zeppelin at the tip of the iceberg. They're probably one of the most classic blues-based rock and roll bands of all time. And I think people who aren't really aware of or voiced in rock and roll music or rock and roll history, who are more sort of interested in trendy and fashionable music forms or whatever, seem to look at rock and roll as some kind of idiotic Neanderthal caveman kind of thing, you know. So they just throw like Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. It's very easy to do that, you know. I think we've transcended that kind of criticism.